Acum te văd.
Perfect. Deci I think I'm gonna put, this is Tarek, by the way.
Hi.
Oh, is that version Mary behind you, Tarek?
Uh,
No, you don't have
no,
it.
it's actually a small house.
No, I'm
I
used
do
because
have
your
a
sister has a lot of icons in the house, that's why.
Yeah, she likes to.
By the
be
way,
closer
Tarek
to
is
God.
a Christian Lebanese. Like I
Hi.
told you
Hi.
last time, we have a lot of Lebanese types, like blood types. So هي عم بتقول إنه أنا كتير متفاني بس هي عم تدرس كتير قليل. Deci aici am tradus, o să facem asta după, e o propoziție mai lungă, pur și simplu i-am spus în arabă. Am spus, hie am bătul, ea zice, când folosim, when we use am, we only use it when we're doing the action in the present time. Like every time, it's a continuous action. So I am doing, أنا عم بعمل, but it's only because I'm doing it and right this second. If it's not this second, we cannot say am. It's something I'm doing actively. It's not like in Romanian. I say, you spoon. It doesn't have to be. هي عم بتقول يا زيتشا إنه أنا كتير متفاني. متفاني înseamnă dedicat. أنا كتير eu foarte dedicat. أنا كتير متفاني. بس înseamnă dar. بس e dar. Ascultă doar, nu te complica. بس هي عم تدرس كتير قليل. Dar ea învață foarte puțin. Asta am tradus. Ok? Hai să ne ducem la whiteboard. E salvat? S-a salvat? S-a salvat? Cred că să sperăm că s-a salvat. Da, perfect. It saved itself. The horror. So, we have 4 more things to say. Be careful. How do I say be careful?
انتبه أو انتبه.
Okay, perfect. انتبه. Asta e be careful. انتبه la băiat. انتبه la fată. Urmă. Do you speak Arabic? تحكي Arabic.
تحكي.
And it's neutral, so it doesn't change whether it's guy, girl. Everyone is بتحكي. There is no conjugation. تحكي Arabic. And in Lebanon, we have a tendency to ask people in Lebanon, Egypt, and some other ultra-nationalistic countries, we don't usually say تحكي Arabic, we say بتحكي لبناني. We say it because we mean, do you speak my dialect? I don't want to know if you speak Arabic in general. I want to know if you speak my dialect. So I can ask تحكي لبناني. That is the most common in if two Lebanese, usually when Lebanese are outside, most of my friends I met, when I ask, I like, if I have a if I think the person is Lebanese and I'm not sure, I go to him and I'm like تحكي لبناني. I don't ask him تحكي عربي. I only ask the other Arabs تحكي عربي. And if I have doubts is Lebanese, I always start تحكي لبناني because I don't want to know if he speaks Arabic. I want my dialect. I want to hear my dialect, and that's it. And the next one, what's your name? So here we have a conjugation different from man to woman. شو اسمك for female, شو اسمك for male. So شو اسمك?
Amalia.
Use the pronoun.
أنت Amalia.
No. أنا مش أماليا. أنا إبراهيم. أنت أماليا.
Ok.
Ok. Deci eu Amalia. Cum spun eu Amalia? Că e de la pronume.
Ana. Eu.
Da.
O da?
Da.
Ana Amalia.
Ok. Încă o dată. شو اسمك?
Ana Amalia.
شو اسمك؟
أنا طارق.
وأنا إبراهيم. تشرفنا.
شرف. معرفتك.
حبيبي. I cannot help myself, man. I have to say something. So when Lebanese people go to visit, usually the whole 2 hours of visiting, you only speak few subjects, you watch TV, blah, blah, blah. But at the door, oh my God, you speak like you have never yet went to visit. It's like, No, تشرفنا بوجودك. تعالوا زورونا. Come visit us. No, you come. No, I will come for sure. No, my house is yours. No, and you stay half an hour just trying to close the conversation. Like,
That's too true.
so the next one. Where are you from? من وين أنت؟ So la feminine أنت. من وين؟ شيبوري.
وين أنت؟
Example. أنا إبراهيم. أنا روماني لبناني وعايش ببوخارست. طارق من وين أنت؟
Sadly, أنا من لبنان.
أنا من لبنان. أماليا اتشرفنا طارق. أماليا أنت من وين؟ من وين أنت؟
من وين أنت؟
مهم.
رومانيا.
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 Okay, ديج. You can ask two ways. أنت من وين؟ أنت من وين؟ Or the opposite way. من وين أنت سو أنت؟ Depende da كيف تسوي بيت. Deci من وين أنت؟ Nu contează că tu poți să le inversezi cum vrei tu. It doesn't matter. Some people say أنت or if it's a female أنت من وين to ask someone where he's from. Or some people say the opposite. أنت or أنت depending on the person من وين. The order doesn't matter because Arabic is very flexible. And sometimes you don't even have to say أنت or أنت. You just say من وين because usually the guy is in front of you. So you don't have to say أنت من وين. You just say من وين. So it's the same for both sexes. So if you're looking in front of you at your mother-in-law or someone, it's like Haji, min وين? Haji, don't use it. I'm kidding. Haji means old lady, but we use it out as a sign of respect. And it literally means someone who is old or someone who has went to Mecca and came back. They call them Hajj. But out of respect, they call anyone Hajj. And for example, my dad, he is not practitioner at all. And every time someone calls him like Hajj, how are you? And he's like, if you tell me one more Hajj, I'm gonna hit you. I'm not that old. Leave me alone. He even like said this to a soldier at one point. There was a checkpoint, and he's like, the soldier, like, you can pass Hajj. And he's like, Hajj بعينك. Don't tell me Hajj. I will. He started making him a moral. So please, it's very easy because you can use it the same way. There were some grammatical mistakes, so I just crossed them out.
Syntactical errors.
So please, we can say please. What else can we say, Tarek? I know we only use please, but
one of the hardest questions I have ever heard.
Is that
من بعد إذنك.
من بعد إذنك.
أو حتى even we can use sorry instead of please in the similar situations. Like if you want to pass, you can say sorry. Or
عفوا. In that case, if you want to pass, you say pardon, sorry, or عفوا. We discussed this, but in the please, we say please. إذا بتريد is like if you want. Dacă dorești să-mi dai voie, știi? إذا بتريد, după permisiunea ta, și من بعد إذنك, după permisiunea ta. But the young generation, nobody speaks like this. You only need this with old people, mother-in-laws, 60-plus people, and so on. Young people, nobody use them. We only use please. Nobody cares. And you're welcome. Tarek.
You're welcome.
العفو.
I've never used العفو
Yeah, I
before.
know, but it's one of the versions. العفو, it means it's like afwan, but for you're welcome. And the ones that tikram,
yeah,
tikram, it means may you be. So for example, I tell you merci. I was generous enough to give you a thank you. So you want to return back the generosity to me, you will say, may you become even more generous. In this context, it means may you become even more generous with your words. But for example, if I get you a gift and I say merci, and the guy will say tikram, he means may you have even 10 times more gifts. So it's always like a way to say, yeah, you don't need to thank me. I wish you have even more stuff. but it's usually lies. It's just a way to make the other person feel better.
Yeah, Lebanese is very, very embellishing.
Because at one point in the Ottoman Empire, when you used to go to the Sultan and make him a poem and lie to his face that how great he is and so on, they used to give you money or land. So it's a very big tradition of corruption.
Yeah.
L'Afu and Tikram, and the most, there is one that a lot of people use, but it's not as common as these two. Tikram is the most common. It's de rien. De rien, it's from French. Don't mention.
Yeah, very true.
For nothing. Pentru nimic.
Durian. Okay.
Da. My less, especially in areas in Lebanon where French is almost like the first language, even before Arabic, like in Ashrafi region, for example, if you say de rien or merci or bonjour, actually some areas in Ashrafi you can spend the whole day speaking only French.
Very true. Even English.
Yeah, and not speak one Arabic word, from the grocery store to the milk to everything. Like you spend the whole day, just like in France, in Paris, for example, you can spend the whole day speaking Arabic, for example. And thank you is shukran.
Shukran.
But also you should learn those two new expressions, mashkur, and if you're if you're a woman, you say mashkura. It's a way to say I'm thankful, or like feminine masculine, you know. But I would, if I were you, I will stick to shukran.
Yeah.
I will not use any other. I don't use any other word.
There's even a harder one. Salim hadiyat.
Oh, this is it basically say hello. No, I hope your hands stay safe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like when someone hands you something and you want to say thank you for giving me this or for entrusting me with this. Salim hadiyat. Thank you for your hands.
Yeah, it's like I hope your hands stay safe because I need more stuff from you in the future.
Yeah. Also rarely used inside taxis only.
Salim. Salimun or Salim hadiyat. Between those two, Salimun is easier because Salimun, it means the plural of the hands. But the hands are not mentioned because they are understood. It's in the subconscious. So you say Salimun. To who? To the hands, of course. You know, you don't have to say Salimun to the hands. You just say Salimun and that's it. And the last one is bye. Bye, it's bye or ma'as-salama. And I cannot, Allah ma'ak, for example, God be with you. Or you can be even more, like, for example, religious and say Al-Adra tahmik, which means the Virgin Mary protect you. Or so you see, you can use a lot of stuff. There is a funny YouTube video, by the way. So this foreign guy comes to Lebanon, he wants to rent a car. And we have a lot of electricity cuts in Lebanon because of corruption. Especially everywhere else in Lebanon except Beirut, where the electricity, before I left Lebanon, used to cut 3 hours a day. Now I don't know, to be honest. And so this guy went to the, I think it was a Hertz, it doesn't matter, it's an agency for cars. And he's like, let me show you the car, come. And he was like, are you Christian or Muslim? And he's like, does it matter? I just want to rent a car. He's like, yeah, it matters very much. So he's like, okay, I'm Christian. So he takes him to a car, I think it was a Kia or something. And when he enters, he had like an icon in the middle, a cross on the up, and like a lot of religious symbol. And he's like, so when there is no light, Saint Charbel will light the way for you. When there's no, you kiss this icon 2 times, and I don't know which other saint will help you find the way. And it was very funny because the religion and the expressions are very mixed in the language. Yeah. So even if I'm an atheist, which I'm almost atheist, I'm an agnostic. I cannot not say Alhamdulillah, which literally means thank God, but we use it in a way to say thank you. Or for example, Inshallah, I use it in the way of hopefully, but there is no word that says hopefully except Inshallah. even though it literally means if God
Thank
wills.
God. Yeah.
So some expressions you cannot escape them. So مع السلامة it's easier. مع السلامة or bye, which is the easiest. Allah معك, God be with you. You can say انتبه لحالك. For Allah معك, if it's a feminine, Allah معك, and انتبه لحالك, انتبه لحالك. And as Tarek said, العذراء تحميك. If it's a girl, تحميك. And هيدا كل شيء لليوم. هيدا كل شيء لليوم. إن شاء الله تكوني انبسطتي. هيدا كل شيء لليوم انسان أصلا توت pentru azi. هيدا كل شيء înseamnă tot. هيدا asta ăsta. This is. هيدا كل شيء totul لليوم pentru azi. إن شاء الله تكوني انبسطتي. إن شاء الله sper că تكوني to be a fi înbăsate, te bucurat. Și dacă era masculin, înbăsatet.
Înbăsatet.
Ok. Deci, noi am făcut o conversație. We did a conversation. I wrote everything down. My handwriting sucks, but whenever you don't understand something, you just tell me, and I'll try to type it on the computer, but today I don't have time to do that. I did it with my hand. This is a conversation which has a lot of vocabulary. It's very heavy, but it will teach you a lot of stuff because I was trying to think how to teach better, and I realized something. My mother learned Romanian in 3 months, the only Arabic in 3 months. The only way she learned Lebanese in 3 months is because she had no other choice. Because my dad, every time yeah. No, I'm being honest. Like, she didn't have any choice. My dad, every time, he's like, "Shu baddik, like, what do you want? It's not, doesn't matter." And my mom is an educated woman who finished gynecology in Bucharest, and she wanted to work. She didn't want to stay at home and just cook her stuff. But if she doesn't speak the language, it's very hard to work. Like, if you only speak English, very few company will hire you, but not as a doctor, because doctor, you have to meet people. So she went to the syndicate, I think, in Lebanon, and after 3 months, she started to speak, like, very poorly, but she started to speak because she was always trying to listen. And there was no one translating to her, no one speaking slowly to her. She just had to, it's like intensive 24/7 everywhere because everyone speaks Arabic. And when she started speaking, she passed the oral course. I think my dad told me he had to do a pile, like some, zabara, so she can pass the written exam. And then she was admitted into the syndicate of medicine. And now, 28 years later, she works as a medic. She still doesn't know how to write in Arabic, but she's one of the best doctors in the region where we live. And everybody loves her. So the only way to learn Arabic fast, and you will have to, I know it's a lot, but in the beginning, you either learn slowly and you can take 5 years to make one sentence, or you go intensive, as in, I give you a full conversation, we discuss it, there's a lot of words, a lot of vocabulary, we conjugate them, we memorize the words, and then we start going from there into more stuff. Because here we had Haida, we had Haide, we had a lot of verbs, we had the family, we had studying, we had work, you're welcome, do you speak, do you do? So it's this, we will work on it, this conversation itself, we can do it for the next 2 lessons, and we will still need more time to finish it because it's a good intro to a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And if you want the recording, let me know. I can send it by WeTransfer. You can download it and listen to it again, so you can repeat what we learned while reading in front of you. Yeah?
Kabir is there.
Amalia?
Da, e ok. Da.
Okay. By the way, Amalia lives in Austria, in Vienna, right?
Yes.
And her husband is from the Bekaa Valley. So our accent is a
Oh.
little bit far away from his accent, but I was
Yeah,
telling her
yeah.
it's nicer. than ours.
The Bekaa accent is much more robust.
It's
They
different. It's
Okay.
different.
yeah, they even use older words than we do, than Beirut people do. So yeah, even
I'm gonna give you simple examples. Like for bread, we say khibz. Khibz.
Wie?
For bread, pâine.
Ja, cum spui?
Khibz.
Aha.
But-
Ei spun Hobbs.
khobz.
Yeah, ei
very true.
spun khobz. Noi
Yeah.
spunem, o să mai zic, de exemplu, rez, ei spun roz. Deci,
Yeah.
Aha.
și ei prolungesc foarte mult cuvintele. They extend the words. So, شو بك يا حسين?
Aha.
For example.
Right.
ليش بتجيش لعنا? Like very like long.
The vowels, they extend the vowels. Yeah.
For example, شو يا علي? No.
Ashfi instead of shufi.
أكلت ولا ما أكلت؟ أخذت, أكلت. So they don't have أكلت. What this vowel is removed. أكلت, أكلت, شربت, نمت, حكيت, خبز, جبنة, لبن. For example, we say لبن. They say لبن or لبن.
Yeah.
Instead of تعاي لهون. Come
Uh-huh.
here.
So it's a small like. Okay, I love Bekaa Valley, but every time I hear them, I imagine Moldova people, or I imagine, for example, the Texas people in America, you know, hillbillies that pronounce, or the Ardelean in Romania, you know, like the pronunciation wise.
But that can be true to everything outside of Beirut.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
even in the south, they use like words like issa, which means now, and we don't use it at all.
It's issa in the south, it's now. In the north, it means later.
Yeah. Even that, yeah.
In the south, when you say for the brain, moch, in the north, moch is an insult.
Oh,
Okay.
that I didn't know.
Yeah, and if you go to Tripoli and you say to someone "Enta moch," which means you're smart, you're a big brain, he will think that you insulted him because moch in Tripolitan, it's a bad word. It's an insult.
Diversification.
But in general, it's more or less the same language. I call it a language. I don't call it a dialect because Lebanese, it has a lot of sub-dialects by itself. So it's like in Romania, we have Ardelenește, Moldovenește și mai departe. In Lebanon, we have Tripolitan, Beirutan, Bekaan, and so on. And I consider it a language, but only politically they don't want to consider it a language. Just like Croatian is a language different from Serbian, different from Slovakian, but they all understand each other. The same way with the Arabic dialects. We're all different languages, but we understand each other because they force on us the standard Arabic. And otherwise, it would be harder for me to. Actually, even me and Tarek, we don't understand a lot of Jordanian, Palestinian, Syrian.
Very true.
We understand like what they want to say, what's the meaning, the general meaning of the discussion, but we don't understand a lot of their words. If they use a lot of specific words, I had a friend from Gaza, and when he used to speak with his family, I understood 20%. When he spoke to me, I understood 95%. So I don't know what's the difference. I think he was changing from his words to use common
Easier
words
ones, yeah.
that are in both dialects, you know. But he's like from a Bedouin tribe. They use a lot of standard Arabic words, and the Bedouins are true Arabs. Like he's not Phoenician, he's not Canaanite. He doesn't have a. He's really literally Arab because he comes from a tribe and he's a Bedouin. The Bedouins were considered the first Arabs. Actually, this is what Arab means, the man of the desert. So when he spoke with his family, I'm like, can you translate, please? But usually, because of our songs, the Lebanese and the Egyptian and the Syrians, everyone understands us. There is not one Arab, even Moroccans, they all understand us. We understand them in different degrees, but we all understand the meaning, the general meaning of what they're trying to say. And usually when we meet, like me and the Moroccan, we try to use words either from standard Arabic or words that are common in both our dialects. But in case we don't understand each other, we go to French. But the idea is we don't have patience to listen to them because it's a different sound, a different pronunciation, different everything. It sounds like a different language. So if we only listen to what they're trying to say, we would understand 50 to 60% easily because we know also standard Arabic and we also know some French, some of us. But because we're not in the mood to listen to someone speaking different pronunciation, different everything, we just and have a preconception that we don't understand. So we actually don't understand because of the preconception. We put it in our mind and that's how it is. Algerian even worse. Like if Moroccan we don't understand, Algerian is like, there's this song, Aisha, écoutez-moi, Aisha. So, you know, Aisha, écoutez-moi, Aisha, and then he starts in Arabic. The whole Arabic part, I understand like 10 words.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I'm not even focusing to what he's saying. He's like
just listening to the song.
But in general,
Gabby, I'm sorry to interject. My boss talked to me. I need to go. Am I needed?
No.
All right.
I was yeah.
Thank you for everything. It was very nice to meet you, Amalia.
Thank you, Tarek, for your help today.
Good luck. If you guys need anything, I'm always here.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
مع السلامة. Amalia, you didn't say bye in Arabic. You should say bye. Deci, ne întoarcem la română. Nu te speria, am dat foarte multe. Asta o să fie materialul pentru următoarele 2-3 sesiuni legere. Eu ce vreau de la tine? Să-mi dai, dacă vrei, să-ți trimit acum pe WeTransfer zilele astea, adică astăzi. 2 linkuri cu screen recordurile pe care le-am făcut. O să fac